I run this. I run this. I don't care how high you holding that daggone flag. This is my juke joint. This is my show. This is my party.
That said that if that Hunter Biden laptop story
have any arguments against that right now, and I want to see how it goes. So we got this young lady by the name of Judge Janine. Judge Janine is her name, and apparently she says that Biden has been caught red-handed. Red-handed doing what? And the bigger question is, does it matter that he was caught red-handed? Because nothing that they've been caught red-handed up to this point has done anything against the Biden family. So let's see exactly what this is. But before we do, please do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's push this video forward, guys. Let's get into the algorithm. And if you were not notified about my videos being posted, that's probably because you need to hit that post notification again. Because after we received our second strike, a lot of craziness has been going on. I'm not blaming anybody and I'm not blaming the platform, but if you would not mind re-hitting that post notification bell so that when I post videos, you'll be notified, that would be extremely appreciated. Thank you so much. Let's see what they have to say about this here, man.
It's the one-year anniversary of the Inflation Reduction Act, and gas is still close to $4 a gallon. Half the country is living paycheck to paycheck, and everything at the supermarket is way too expensive. But President Biden today stood in front of the country and said, "You're welcome."
Bidenomics is just another way of saying restoring the American dream.
I'm sorry, what? Bidenomics is just another way of saying restoring the American dream. Bruh, you are out of touch, man. What in the holy hell is he talking about? No, it's not. I'm gonna let her talk and then I'll come back and just run my mouth a little later.
Do you think it's any easier to achieve the American dream today than it was a couple of years ago? Of course not. Because the Inflation Reduction Act was never supposed to reduce inflation. It was a Trojan horse for the climate change crowd. The only people it helped are Biden's donors who work in green energy. You see, it was all a lie. And what do you do when you get caught in a lie? You lie more.
No one making less than $400,000 a year will pay a single penny more in federal taxes. It's a commitment I've kept so far, and as long as I'm president, I will keep it.
Wrong. Working class families had their tax burden jacked up. Who do you think is paying for all the windmills? You. And Biden proudly says he cut our national debt.
We actually cut the federal debt, the deficit, by $1.7 trillion. You hear me? The first 2 years, we cut the debt by...
Is that true, guys? I'm sure Judge Janine will tell us if that's true, but y'all please let me know if that's true. I appreciate it.
1.7 trillion.
And I know that Judge Janine she works over there on Fox News, and a lot of y'all have take issue with Fox News at the moment because of what they represent, or because it kind of seemed like they are taking the side of the financiers that pretty much run the country, run the world with their pocketbooks. But at the end of the day, they still are putting out some news that we need to hear. We should at least entertain and do our due diligence after that.
Wrong again. Our national debt went up almost $4 trillion since Biden took office. At least your energy bill went down, right?
This law is helping families save thousands of dollars in energy bills every year through the tax credit and rebates to buy new and efficient electric appliances, weatherize their homes, install heat pumps, rooftop solar.
Another lie. You're paying more to heat your house and power your AC. Now, unless you want to spend 30 grand sticking solar panels on your roof, this bill doesn't help you at all. But Joe Biden thinks he's the most successful president in American history.
Name me a single objective we've ever set out to accomplish that we've failed on. Name me one.
Hey, he sound like they sat in front of him before he went out there in front of that podium and the microphone and told him, "Look, bruh, your poop don't stink, and every single thing that you said you was going to do, you did it. Yes, you did, boss. Yes, you did." Somebody said, go on, tell him, yes, he did. Yes, you did. And if I might add, your cologne smells amazing today. It just sounds like a whole bunch of people was just kissing his ass and just telling him that what you said you was going to do, you actually did. He's not going to go look here. He don't care. He just need to feel positive about himself. Yeah, let's get him going. Let's get him going.
Okay, Joe, you failed on reducing inflation, lowering gas prices, securing the border.
You hear that, right? That's 3 points so far.
and withdrawing from Afghanistan, to name just a few. Joe Biden has been lying his entire career. Now, the first time Biden ran for president back in 1988, he said he graduated at the top of his class.
I have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class.
This brother is really touting his accomplishments. But if it's true that he was at the top of his class, then what could we say? I mean, if the brother was outperforming everybody, was smarter than everybody, was kicking everybody's butts in college, what can we say? This was back in April of 1987. So if this happened in 1987 in April, and he actually was kicking people's butts in college, what can we say? Congratulations. He was a young Vivek Ramaswamy.
And back then, though, the media actually fact-checked Democrats.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Wow.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Wow, they are checking this man. Bruh, you was not at the top, you was at the bottom. You didn't go on 2-3 degrees, you went on 1. Come on, bruh. You didn't get 3 degrees, you got 1. Like, you needed help to get through.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School.
Wow.
So Joe eventually had to drop out, not for lying about his grades, but for plagiarizing someone else.
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Glenys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
They didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
What? Bruh. Bruh. Hold on. So what they're playing, just in case you cannot see this from where you are, this video right here is from May 15th, 1987. And they're giving the exact same speech that Joe Biden gave in August 23rd, 1987. June, July, August. 3 months later. 3 months and 8 days to be exact.
Biden never learned his lesson. He said he used to drive 18-wheelers. He never did. He said he was arrested while marching for civil rights. That never happened.
He said he beat the brakes off of a brother by the name of Corn Pop. And you better trust me, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Huh? So for me to punk Corn Pop, everybody was afraid of Corn Pop. But me, I stood to him. You remember Friday, on the movie Friday? There was a character by the name of Debo. Well, Debo ain't have nothing on Corn Pop. Joe Biden was able to punk him at the swimming pool right after he finished teaching all the black kids about roaches.
He said he was against the Afghanistan war from the beginning, but he voted for it in 2001. And that's not all.
If you're not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die.
I'm sorry, what? Trying to find the right thing to say without getting in trouble on this platform, so I'm just gonna say you're wrong. Because she said you're not going to be hospitalized. You're not going to die. Did somebody tell him? Hopefully somebody tell him.
We know that's not true. But Biden's biggest lie of all is this.
I did not know he was on the board of that company. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed.
What the heck did y'all hear that part? Right? I never discussed with my son. I've never discussed with my son. I've never zibba. What? Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can go back to that point. Watch this.
Anything having to do with Ukraine. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never.
What the heck did he just now say? I've never discussed
son about anything having to do with Ukraine. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed
I'm not gonna try.
with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
Joe never discussed business with his son. He just talked to his son Hunter's business partners on speakerphone. He went golfing with them too and went to birthday dinners with Burisma executives, Russian billionaires, and Kazakhstan businessmen. Here's the truth. This guy has been lying since the day he stepped into Washington. He has lied his way all the way to the top, but now he's been caught red-handed, and we're not going to let him get away with it anymore.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And honestly, I get it, Judge Janine, that you don't want him to get away with it. I don't think that, honestly, conservatives, fuss at me if you want, but I don't think y'all are tough enough to make anything happen. I would like to see something happen, lawfully happen. But at the end of the day, he's been doing this for how long? For how long? This dude been doing this ever since he was a senator, lying his ass off and been moving up in the rankings to the point where he's been the president for the last 3.5 years. Ain't nothing gonna happen to this dude. Ain't nothing gonna happen to his family. As a matter of fact, the only reason why he probably won't run in 2024 is because his own people are just gonna be like, yo, just throw in the white flag, man. Throw in the flag, man. We're gonna get somebody to substitute for you. What's the dude name? We're gonna get Newsom to run for you, okay? All right. We already know that a Democrat can win without having to prove anything. So we'll just push him across the finish line. He's running against Trump. Okay. And we're about to try to arrest Trump. He won't be able to run. And then they're going to break up all of their votes because we already know that if Ron DeSantis wins as the Republican candidate or Vivek Ramaswamy wins as the Republican candidate, they're only going to get probably half of the votes because Trump is going to run as an independent and get the other half. So that means whoever we put out there to run as the Democratic candidate, they will get votes because the Democrats don't really pay attention to it. They can care less. What donkey are we going to put out there? Newsom? Put Obama out there again? Michelle? Let's put Michelle out. We can put Michelle out there. As long as we don't put Kamala and Joe out there. And we good. All right? This whole thing, man, I would like for somebody to hold him accountable of all of his lies. I would love it. I would love it. Oh, it would feel so good. Oh, yeah. But it ain't going to happen. Prove me wrong, though. Feel free.